Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahwah, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth, and that's so teaching his truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, pushing the swear with all truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson today will be edifying. And I want to do a lesson going in on this article that we see here on the screen entitled, "What Will Happen When They Give the Green Light to Millions of Radicals to Cause Widespread Chaos all over America." Let's read it again, Salaki. What will happen when they give the green light to millions of radicals to cause widespread chaos all over America? All right, and this is going in on the whole, as they're calling it, the whole migrant crisis that's taking place. And this whole quote-unquote crisis, as they're calling it, is really not a crisis. It's really a controlled demolition. It's really a controlled implosion, if you will, that's happening within America, where they're allowing these quote-unquote migrants to cross the border in large numbers. And you have them getting funding, and you have them getting housing in particular states, and a lot of these people that are crossing over are really Moabite troops. A lot of them are Jake, but you have some of them that are actually troops from these different countries, whether they be Moabites, Ishmaelites, Palestinians. You have some, you have now them talking about how some of these people crossing the border are coming from, they're actually coming from Haiti. And you see what's going on in Haiti right now with the whole, pretty much their government's being overrun by gangs. Cannibalism is happening out there. You out there in the streets in Haiti right now, you could get put to death on the spot, from these particular groups. And that's all a telltale sign of what's going to happen over here, because Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, is pulling the plug on America. And this lines also up with prophecy. Whenever you read in the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, where it says that the Lord will send fanners into Babylon. But I want to read this particular verse in the NLT. This is the book of Jeremiah 51. We'll read verse 1 and verse 2. It says, this is what Yahweh says: "I will stir up a destroyer against Babylon and the people of Babylonia. Foreigners will come and winnow her." Now, when you go into the act of winnowing, winnowing is the form of pretty much separating the chaff from the from the wheat. You would have your grain on the threshing floor, in the ancient world, and you would have like an ox or a donkey, walk around the grain. Pretty much it'll be on the threshing floor, and they will stomp out the grain, or the kernels in the chaff. But you would get a winnowing fork, and you would pretty much pick up the chaff in the wheat, and you would throw it in the air, and the grain will fall down, but the chaff would the chaff would get blown away. You see? And it makes me think about in the Amos the 9th chapter how the Lord will sift the house of Israel. You see? So, the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to be protected in these last days. But the rest of these people that are out here that have no fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, they have not been putting their hand to the plow. They've been taking this truth as a joke, or they just been pretty much shunning the prophets, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to leave these people up to their devices whenever all hell breaks loose, and trust and believe that it's getting ready to happen very, very soon. This is a tall tale sign of what's to come. Don't think that this whole migrant crisis that they're calling it is just going to blow over. And no, this is a controlled this is a controlled implosion that's happening. And they're pretty much setting it up for the perfect the perfect T attack. TERROIST attack. Okay, that's gonna make 9/11 look like a water gun or a newborn baby compared to what's getting ready to happen now, for them to pass more draconian laws, to censor more information on the internet, you know, and ultimately to crack down and institute martial law. All right, and ultimately the end goal is going to be to establish the MOTB on the planet Earth. Okay, Slakia for the rain. It says foreigners will, yeah, because I was going into foreigner or winnowing. It says foreigners will come and winnow her, blowing her away as chaff. And what happens with the chaff? All right, the chaff gets put into the fire. Okay, it says they will come from every side. They will come from every side to rise against her in the day of trouble. And that day of trouble is talking about what? The day of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, because Jacob's trouble is going to be Esau's trouble as well too. Okay, that's what that day of trouble is talking about. Okay, so like I said, don't get it twisted when it comes to these, you know, this whole quote unquote migrant issue taking place, man. Okay. Because realistically, like I said, it's a controlled implosion. Okay, so let's read some of this article. And like I said, you know, whatever precepts that Yahweh Bashmal Shah feeds them, y'all definitely pull them. All right, it says violence and crime are already completely out of control all over the United States, and that lines up with the scripture. Okay, that lines up with the scripture that the love of many is going to wax cold in these last days. Okay, this is Matthew 24. Matthew 24. And did I pass it? Hold on. No, I ain't passed it yet. Here we go. I'm sorry. Matthew 24, verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, and what is iniquity? Iniquity is wickedness on top of wickedness on top of wickedness. Like consistent wickedness. And you see in this world that it's just nothing more than just furthermore wickedness taking place. Things are just getting more and more wicked. Okay, we're not living in a time right now where, you know, America's just gonna get some sort of, you know, an ounce of morality back, whereas things are gonna start turning, you know, around here in America. No, it's just gonna continually get worse. To the point where as Yahweh Bashmal Shah is gonna send his angels, Yahweh Shah and his angels, all right, to add more fuel to the fire from these missiles, all right, to gather up the elect and destroy the rest of this place, man. You see, during the time of Noah, man, it just the world at that time wasn't getting more righteous; it was getting more and more wicked. During the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, man, it was just more and more, it was just getting more and more wicked, to the point where as the Lord had to burn that place up. Sodom, Gomorrah, Adamah, and Zeboim. You see? It was that bad. So it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay? And I want to say when you get that word cold, it's suke, if I'm not mistaken. Sucho or psycho. People are about to start losing their damn minds out here, man. And you already got these people losing their minds, man. These people, you know, these people turned up, in a sense, turned up with the stuff inside of them. You know, people are losing their minds, man. But when these people can't, you know, when these people can't eat, you know, when these people can't get that particular medicine and things of that nature, that keeps them quote unquote sane in these last days, man, people gonna start losing their minds, man. You know, and like I said, you got these people that are crossing the border, man. You know, crime is at an all-time high. You know, you got these people, man. Let's read. Violence and crime are already completely out of control all over the United States. It says, in fact, you definitely wouldn't want to be caught in the streets when hordes of our lawless young people are running wild. You see that? And the streets in these major cities is going to be the worst places to be caught up in, man. You know, you got a lot of these people that like to be outside and you know, be out in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the streets. Well, the streets is going to be the last place that you want to be in. The last place that you want to be in, man. Because these streets is about to get locked down. Like it says in 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter, man. You know? As a matter of fact, let's actually get that one real quick. Cause it's about to get crazy out here, man. It's about to get completely. You see how, you know, we driving to work right now. Still some sort of law and order going on. You know, people going to Starbucks in the morning time, and you know, these long ass lines at McDonald's. You know, you still got people getting ready. You know, people at my job. Make sure you wear green. St. Patrick's Day. You know, everybody bring something green to eat. We're gonna have a green day. All this stupid ass shit. All that shit finna be, all this gameplay, all this folly finna be shut down. Okay? 2 Corinthians 15:7. Okay? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, man. That's the times that we getting ready to come into, man. Whereas people are gonna desire to go from one city to another. You know? To go from one place to another. You know, and you ain't gonna be able to, man. They're gonna have these roadblocks set up and these checkpoints set up, whereas you ain't gonna be able to go nowhere unless you got access or clearance to go into this particular place. You know? Let's just click this link real quick and just see what the link does. It says not even Hollywood could have dreamed up this dystopian nightmare that every major U.S. city is going to turn into. Okay? Let's take a look and see. Let's just see. See that? You see that, bro? You see that? It's just like this is like literally turning into a Mad Max society, whereas you're just gonna have, you know, a bunch of renegades and just a bunch of demons, and they're already out there, you know. But when laws and you know, when the scriptures are, you know, going back to 2 Corinthians 15, where it says that the course of action shall stand in their power, you know, it's gonna look like a third world country. I mean, America's already pretty much, the infrastructure's already trash, you know, but like I said, you still got some sense of law and order that take place over here, whereas you still got, you know, Esau's laws are still in effect. You know, but when these people, like, man, like when they say pretty much F Esau's laws and they just going out here and, you know, ramshacking through, you know, convenience stores and grocery stores and things of that nature, these streets is gonna look like that. People out there, you know, a burning car is just on fire, then you got another car just running into it and it's just doing donuts. You know, like, come on, man. This is the society. This is the society and world that we now live in, where these things is normal, man. You know, it says if things are this bad already, what's it going? If things are bad, if things are this bad already, things is bad. I can't read right now. So like, if things are this bad already, what is going to happen if the election in November does not go the way that leaders on the left want, and they give the green light to millions of radicals to cause widespread chaos all over America? Now, what is a radical? Okay, what is a rap? As a matter of fact, let's get the let's get the etymology. Let's get the etymology of this real quick. We'll get the etymology of this word radical. Okay, because, you know, when you hear the word radical, you know, you think of somebody that's just far, you know, far left. But when, you know, really the word radical isn't a bad word, but, you know, you got to know your meanings of words. All right, it says the radical says late 14th century, originating in the root or ground. That's what a radical is. You know, we're radicals for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We're radicals for righteousness, but you got radicals for wickedness too. You see, of parts of body fluids vital to life, okay, of or having roots, from Latin radix, root. So the word radical literally goes back to your roots. It goes back to the word root. You see? So we're radicals in the sense of righteousness, following after the customs of our forefathers that was handed down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That makes us radicals for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know, but these quote-unquote radicals that are here, in Esau's terminology, are these people who pretty much want to see America destroyed, man. Who want to see this place burn and fall. You know? And they're going to be activated in that day. Okay? Extreme. That's what the word, goes back to. People think that radicals is now the key word that they use now is what they call it, extremism. A radical extremist is what they call it. And it's really just whenever you have a different viewpoint. Which they're going to deem, the prophets just to be radicals, because we have a different viewpoint compared to what Esau sees. Our viewpoint is a righteous society. That's why Yahweh Shah said, he said, if this were my kingdom, then my servants shall fight. Yahweh Shah was a radical. The prophets were radicals. The apostles were radicals. In the Roman Empire, if you really want to think about it, they were radicals. Continuing on, it says, I think that we got a small preview of what this could look like during the riots of 2020, and that's the whole George Floyd scenario situation, which all that was controlled to. But there might not even be no elections this coming year in November. Remember that movie Purge election year? They may not even have an election. Something big may happen to her as a point, is because they can shut down the elections at that point. Because these people are tired of Joe Biden. They're tired of these Democrats passing these laws that, these people quote unquote was fighting to have these quote unquote Democratic leaders in power. But in reality, it's really putting further subjection upon the people. So you got these people who are switching, which is still both all part of the same beast at the end of the day. It's literally, the same beast, two wings, left and right wing, but it's still all part of the same system. But you got a lot of Democrats that are turning Republican. But you Jakes don't want to turn to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. You seeking, what's that scripture say? You seek salvation from the hills, I think it is, like Jeremiah 5, I want to say. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's in Jeremiah 5. Let me see. Is it Jeremiah 5? No, it might be Jeremiah 3. I'm just kind of going off the top, man. So Salaki. Let me see. Right, Jeremiah 3 and 23, that's what it is. Jeremiah 3 and 23, it says, truly in vain, right? Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains, you see, because Jake looks at salvation in different areas. That's why the scripture says that Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded, because ultimately Jake is looking for the truth. Jake is looking for a form of the truth, but they're looking for the truth in the wrong areas. Salvation ain't gonna come from the Democratic Party. Salvation ain't gonna come from the Republican Party. Salvation is not gonna come from going back to Africa. That's not where salvation is gonna come from. Salvation comes from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see? So it says, truly in vain is salvation hoped for in the hills and from the multitude of mountains, these different forms of government. Truly in Yahweh, our power is the salvation of Israel. You see, that's where the salvation lies, is in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. But trusting in Egypt, trusting in Babylon is going to be to the demise of these Jakes, man. And you got these people, like I said, that are just, willy-nilly just letting shit just happen, and they're seeing it happen, but they don't want to address the elephant in the room of who's the one that's bringing all this, who's the one bringing all this chaos. And it's a so-called self-proclaimed white man. Okay? barely even got into this article, man. This is it's a good article though. It says, unfortunately, since that time, the open border policies of the Biden administration have allowed millions of desperate people to come pouring into this country. The stage is being set for civil unrest on a scale that we have never seen before. You see that the stage is being set. That might be the title of the lesson. The stage is being set for civil unrest. All right. And it certainly isn't going to take much to push our society over the edge. Okay. It says, just look at what's happening in New York City. Crime in the subway system is so bad that Governor Kathy Hochul has decided to call in the National Guard. And now you got these people, you got the National Guard out there in New York, and they're armed and ready. Like, it look like it's pretty much the military's down there. You see? And this is just a form of, this is just a form of them showing you what's getting ready to come, which is going to be extreme draconian laws, martial law. Okay? New York City Governor Hochul calls in National Guard, state police to help curb crime in New York City subways, man. And this is on Fox News. This is March 6th. What's today? March 14th. So this is about, about a week ago. And they're militarizing the police, man. I'm not going to read this article. You can, read it yourself. Okay? New York Governor Kathy Hochul is sending in the state National Guard. Excuse me. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is sending in the state National Guard to New York City to help police curb a surge in crime in the city's subways. Announcing a 5-point plan on Wednesday, the Democratic governor says she was deploying 750 members of the National Guard to the subways to assist the New York Police Department with bag searches at entrances to busy train stations. So pretty much, you come into these train stations in New York, man, you're gonna have somebody of military personnel, pretty much checking your stuff. With a fully automatic weapon. Ready to take your head off if you mess around and get stupid. You see, but here it is. The Democrats are doing these things, but they're the same ones that are allowing these quote unquote migrants to cross the border that are causing, that's causing the issue. This is what you call pressure from above, pressure from below. Problem, reaction, solution. You cause the problem to bring forth the reaction, and you ultimately bring forth the solution that's already been preset. Laws, rules, and regulations that are prescribed to further keep you in subjection and further put more hell on you, man. All these draconian measures that are all these draconian measures and laws that are being passed. Okay? Let's just get the precept. It says he had 2 horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon, man. Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, which that 2 horns like a lamb is like a docile, meek, being in the form of a savior, salvation. That's what that word that's what that word lamb goes into, like a sense of salvation. They want to show forth themselves to be the saviors for you, but it says, and he spake as a dragon, though, but realistically, he has an ulterior motive to further put you in hell, man, or to slay you, man. And like I said, you see the stage is being set, man. The stage is set. Okay? Let's see. Skip that. It says, have things gotten so bad that we need to bring in soldiers with guns to keep order on the subways? Apparently so. And it's not just going to be the subways, man. And it ain't just going to be New York. Okay? And it's going to be in these major cities, man. You're going to have troops in these streets, man. Martial law, beginning with the apostles, the bishops, and the elders on down, man. They've been teaching this and saying this for years, man. For many years. My time. I remember my time. My short time in. It's been heard since day one. What the fuck is this dude doing, man? These heathen need to be put in subjection. Goodness gracious, Salaki, man. These people just talking about there's no cars. Like I'm in this parking lot. And there's no cars in this parking lot except for my car. And this dude pulls up, and he's having the hardest time reversing in. And there's no other cars. in a car all up in the bushes, behind him, back of his car in the bushes. See, these people gotta go. It says mass transit crime is also a major problem in Philadelphia, and it is being suggested that the National Guard should be deployed there too. You know? So you got all these quote unquote migrants that's just, open border, all open borders. These people just passing through. And now it's just a surge in crime, man. Okay? The scriptures talk about what? Gross darkness to people in Isaiah 60th chapter. Let's see. Yeah, see, you got Philadelphia looking for a call of the National Guard here. It says, I thought that dealing with crime was what the police were supposed to do. It says, unfortunately, police departments in major cities all over the country are now severely underfunded and understaffed. You see, and that's also true too, man. You got a lot of these police departments. You got a lot of these cops. In major cities that are resigning. A lot of them, pretty much, a lot of them got fired. I'd rather say got let go during the whole Sticky Vicky, that took place. But they're really just creating a state of chaos. You see, whereas you ain't gonna be able to call 911. You ain't gonna be able to call 911, and now if you call 911, now you gotta leave a voicemail. You gotta leave a voicemail or whatever the case may be, and they'll get back to you at their earliest convenience. It ain't no more 911 what's your emergency. No, sometimes you gotta put a ticket in, and they'll get back to you. You see? Hey, the scriptures talk about how the city shall be troubled. Back in 2 Ezra the 15th chapter. Verse 18, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. See that? And ultimately, the Lord is doing these things because these people are extremely proud. So Yahweh Bashem Shai is going to force humility upon these people. He's going to force these people to be humble because there's too many people that's too into their damn selves, man. These men are out of order. These women are completely out of order. Everybody's just proud. Scriptures talk about how men shall be lovers of their own selves. So it says, for because of their pride, and the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. See, Yahweh Bashem Shai is going to invoke fear on a level that we've never witnessed before, man. That's why it's vitally important. It's important. Okay, to fear Yahweh Bashem Shai more so now than ever in these last days, man, and repent. Any kind of bullshit that we still got going on amongst ourselves. Hey, man, I was listening to, the elder bishop Menatazak today, man. It's time to, hey, man, we gotta let that shit go. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. The fashion of this world is gonna pass away, man. You gotta let this shit go. Now it's really time to seriously lock in even more. Cause it's gonna get bad out here, man. It's gonna get extremely bad out here in these streets. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. You see that? You ain't gonna be able. You ain't like you watch that movie Leave the World Behind on how, the Jake was pretty much like, I know this guy down the street. He has medicine, this, that, and the third. He'll be able to help your son out. And he pulled up to the crib, and the dude had the guns pulled out on him. Like, man, what's good? He's like, nah, it's all about me. I ain't worried about your children and your friends' kids. And nah, and that's the world and time that we coming into. It says, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. See that? But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. That's the times that we're in, man. That's the times that we're coming into. We're already here, but that's the times that we're coming into, to whereas it's going to get even worse. You see, famine is going to cause people to completely lose their minds. People about to lose their shit. People about to lose their minds, man. Okay? Let's go here. In Pittsburgh, the situation is so dire that police will no longer respond to calls involving theft, harassment, crime, mischief, and burglaries. You see that? We just said that earlier. Now they ain't even answering the phones. You got to put pretty much you pretty much got to put an order in for the cops to come. You call the cops, they let you know you tell them what the problem is. Then from that point, we'll get back to you in 3 to 5 business days. You call the cops, here it is. Somebody breaking into your car, you call the cops, they get back to you in 3 days. And I forgot they passed some law in Illinois, Chicago. I want to say it was maybe a year ago. I'm trying to remember how it goes. Pretty much it's like crime is legal. But I forgot the specific law name, so I'm not going to really speak on it. So it says, seriously, and let's just click this real quick. Modernity.news. Pittsburgh police are no longer responding to non-emergency calls. So what's considered a non-emergency? Okay. Out of Pittsburgh reports that police will no longer be responding to calls that are not deemed to be in progress emergencies. You see? And that's going to affect a lot of this. That's more so going to affect a lot of these women out here, man. Yahweh Bashem Shah is going to naturally revert people back to their original order. You're going to have a lot of men that are going to act like women in these last days too. But these women are going to, man, these women out here are going to be through. That's why it's important for you women that believe, man. If you got you a man of Yahweh Bashem Shah that believes, you better do right by that man. But for you women out here that's been proud and just haughty, no fear, talking all kinds of shit, Yahweh Bashem Shah gonna visit you in that day, man, because your big daddy government, as Elder Apostle Gabar likes to say, big daddy government ain't gonna be there to aid you. And that's really gonna hurt a lot of these. It's gonna really affect all these women, man. But particularly, man, the so-called black women. Okay? In progress emergencies, meaning theft, harassment, criminal mischief, and burglary alarms will essentially be ignored. You see that? A Mad Max society. Somebody breaking into your car, alarms going off. Alarms going off. You call the cops, and that's a non-emergency. Harassment, non-emergency. Criminal mischief, non-emergency. They're literally making it a purge society, like the movie The Purge, man. Where all crime is legal. Literally. This is what happens whenever the wicked, the scripture says it, man. When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. This is how you further know who's ruling right now, who's in power. Is the wicked. It's clear as day. Says, seriously? So if you own a home in Pittsburgh and someone is robbing you, what are you supposed to do? You see, what are you supposed to do? But it's going to revert to that. It's going to revert to that. What people going to do is, man, people just going to start just getting their guns, and start just blowing people away. You ain't going to be able to trust your neighbor in that day. You're going to be giving your neighbor that side eye in that day. You don't know what's this dude doing. Makes me think about in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. It says that they that look out the window shall be darkened. Yep. And let me read it from the top. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Okay, and we're in the time right now where, like I said earlier, we're to be fearing Yahweh Bashem Shah more so now than ever. Specifically in these times that we're in right now, man. The fear of the Lord should be the key thought of every single last one of our of every single last one of our actions. The scriptures tell you that the fear of the Lord driveth away sins. It says, and when it is present, it driveth away sins. So it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. You know, when you're in your youth. Because these people ain't finna have pleasure in the good old days, you know, the good old days. All that shit finna be out the window. Remember the good old days? America's done. And like I said, it's not about to get better. All right, it says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble. You know, the keepers of the house shall tremble. These people finna be trembling out of fear. You know, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. Jobs are getting shut down, you know, and they and those that look out the windows be darkened. You know, people ain't finna just be going outside like that. And, you know, when you look out the window, you darken, you see like a shadow because you ain't really you scoping the scene, man. You know. We really have reached a point in our societal decline where the wheels are coming off right in front of our eyes. And that's Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai doing that. In Oakland, you know, and that's where Elder Yashawamba is from, you know, because, you know, he talks about it. He's here. He's down here in Dallas with us. In Oakland, crime is so bad that 4 out of the 5 Taco Bell restaurants in the city have completely closed their dining rooms. You see? They don't, you know, you shouldn't be eating that shit anyway, but, you know, you go into these restaurants and these dining rooms, you don't, you know, you ain't even in the dining room, man. They'll close it down because it's so bad out there, man. You know, you pretty much go to particular parts of California, you know, it's just lines of cars whose windows are just busted out, just based upon stories, you know. People's cars getting broken into, you know, theft, crime, you know. And it's bad out there in LA, man. I remember California, you know, you would hear about being in California. It never rains in Southern California. Everybody want to go to California, go to LA. You pretty much go to California now, and it's like, it's completely horrible, man. I ain't never been, but, you know, I'm just, like I said, just going based upon stories and seeing all the laws that they passing. The, what's the word I'm looking for? The price of living is astronomically high out there. You know, and homelessness is at an all-time high. It's just people out there just on the streets, literally just be open on the streets and just shooting themselves up with heroin or something. Just openly just doing drugs. People just laid out on the streets. You got feces just laying on the ground. It's complete madness, man. Man, there's so much more to this article. I really want to do some more. So, you know, I'm going to stop it there. You know, I'm going to stop it there. I'll put the rest of the article in the description box. You know, and Lord willing, it's an edifying lesson. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And that's still teaching this truth. And as always, much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Until next time, I say shalom.